Hey guys, you're listening to M.C.R.O Radio with Melissa
and Richard.
And today we're going to make our way back episode.
Way back, nostalgia.
Our childhood generation. You know, the 90s. That's what we're going to talk about today is the 90s.
The 90s. We're talking music.
We're talking toys we had as a kid. The way life was. Well, I guess what we thought it was.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other cool things.
Mm-hmm.
The different foods we had too, I guess.
Yeah.
Music, as you said. You know, all that fun stuff before the internet came and the millennium changed everything. You know. So, where do you want to start, Richard?
Do you want to talk about our childhood?
We can. Definitely. You go first.
Okay. When we grew up, and like I noticed this now that like kids don't do this anymore, is we would get in like packs and like ride our bikes everywhere.
Oh my god, yes, I know. We would like, trust me, we were all over that. Me, my sister, my best friend on the street, and then a bunch of our other friends. We'd all like be in this like little like bicycle gang.
Yeah, no, we would
riding up and down the street every day.
Well, I mean, when me and my brother got to a certain age, I mean, we would ride, imagine you go down West Mall.
Yeah.
And then over to Burnethorpe. So
damn, you guys got a big range.
No, hold on. But it was beyond that. So imagine turning right and like going almost into Mississauga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like there's the weird side streets that we used to take.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, I used to live on, like, a side street like that, so we would, like, ride around the neighborhood. We'd go up to, like, Roding Park and ride through that. You know where Roding Park is, right?
No.
No? It was, like, our, like, tobogganing park where the hills were huge. It was, like, a big bowl kind of park.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we would take our bikes over to Centennial. We'd cut through the parks. We'd go up and down the trails. I miss doing that when I was a kid.
Right?
I've tried doing it again.
Let's do it. Let's get some bikes and do it.
Gassed.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Well, because
I get to the end of my street.
And we're fat now. Yeah. We're old and fat now. Like, come on.
Yeah, like, I remember being able to...
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I remember, like, when I was going to school, just riding my bike to school, and, like, my middle school, because it wasn't too far. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I could get there basically without stopping. Now it's like I get to the end of my street, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. Why did I do this? Oh my god.
What, riding your bike or walking?
Riding my bike.
I haven't seen you ride a bike since we've been together. That's almost 3 years.
I know.
What bike do you have?
Well, there's a communal one that we have. We never got brand new bikes. But I think my brother was the only one to get a new one, and that one got stolen. True story. That's the second one of my brother's bikes that got stolen. Actually, we'll talk about this. I mean, we're on the topic of when we were growing up. I went to do my community service hours when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And my brother was still in summer camp, and which was in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was at a indoor pool. I'm not going to say which one. Over close to where they have Rib Fest. Okay. And I noticed a kid riding this bike. Mind you, my dad...
Sorry about that if you guys heard that big crash.
That scared me. Talking about my childhood. Let me move this closer. Oh, here we go. That's a lot better.
Because you talk really quiet.
Yeah. I remember looking off in the distance... And I see this bike. Now, this is like a Frankenstein bike that my father had built for myself. And like the fenders were like crooked. The bike was just ugly looking. And so I chased after the guy. And I called my dad from inside. And I said, hey, listen, someone stole my brother's bike. He goes, are you sure? And I told the placement that I was in, I said, listen, where he is, like in his camp, is like 3 blocks away. Not even that. Mm-hmm. So I rushed over, and someone had cut the bicycle lock. And I had a rough idea of where these guys went. And I mean, it was only a span of about 5 minutes from when I had last seen them.
Mm-hmm.
So we had rushed over to where Pizza Hut is, the infamous one that I always tell you about, where the beer store is.
No idea.
Okay.
Oh, on Eglinton?
No.
No, I have no idea.
No, this one, anyway, it's south from where we are. And so we pull in, and there's an LCBO in that plaza, and it actually used to be a dine-in Pizza Hut, similar to the one that you have.
Okay.
And so we pull up, and we see a group of kids sitting, and there's bikes all in front of them. And my dad says, "Son of a bitch." He goes, "There it is, right there." So my dad pulls into the parking lot, walks over to the guy, doesn't say anything. He just grabs the bike, picks it up, and jams it in the trunk, and drives away.
Dad. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, like, 10 years later, another one of my brother's bikes got stolen, but we never got that one back.
Damn.
Yeah.
Your brother has bad luck with bikes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we have a communal, like 1 or 2 bikes that are at home.
Oh yeah. It's only me and my sister that have a bicycle. I'll be honest, I couldn't even tell you the last time I used it.
Yeah. Well, like for us, we would ride. My dad had a bike because, like, way back when, my dad.
Was he a cycler?
Yeah. Well, he would ride his bike everywhere, and my dad used to play tennis. Ironically enough, close to where the Pizza Hut is, and there were a few other tennis courts, like the club that he belonged to, and my dad would. What are you doing?
I burped, but I did it away from the mic.
I'm like watching you make faces. I'm like, what are you doing? My dad used to bike to go play tennis, and then I guess his age caught up to him, and everything starts getting sore.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, back to being a kid in the 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember riding my bike everywhere, going out to the park all the time. I don't know if kids still do this. We used to play, so in my neighborhood, all our backyards were basically kind of connected.
Yeah.
But, like, everybody just let us, use their backyards as, like, hiding spots, except for, like, a couple people, which, totally understandable. Like, they don't want kids, like, in their backyard and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
But some people were pretty cool about it. They didn't care. So we would play hide and seek, we'd play tag, we'd play road hockey, we'd play basketball, we'd play all this stuff. Like, I'm like wondering, do kids still do this?
I'll be honest, I don't think so. I mean, when I was growing up, there were two schools that were kind of neighboring. Like, it's about a 6 to 7 minute walk between the schools. But it was the only 2 schools that had basketball courts, unless you were going to the third school, which was a bit of a dump, and their courts sucked, and we never went there. But especially in the summertime, even more so when school was out, you always heard people playing basketball. You never hear it anymore.
Really? That's so sad.
Yeah. I mean, I remember as a kid walking into a Walmart, my dad would be like, "Okay, so we're just going to grab some stuff, blah, blah, blah." I'd be like, "Hey, we need a new basketball." And my dad would just instinctively go, "Okay, no problem, here you go."
Yeah, we'd get it. Me and my sister would get, like, a new basketball every year.
Yeah. And, like
a good basketball, though. But because we played it so much, it started to go bald by the end of this.
Yeah.
By the end of the summer, so we were getting a new one, and then we'd keep the new one for, like, we'd just wear out the old one.
Yeah.
And
even with us, we, me and my brother would go there just to kind of just shoot the ball around and just fuck around, whatever, and just kind of have a good time. And it's amazing because those courts, if someone heard a basketball, I guess, like, heard the commotion, neighboring kids would always come over and be like, "Hey, can I play with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Exactly. Oh yeah, my house. Everybody would come to my house because we had everything.
Yeah.
Volleyball net, we had basketball net, we had hockey net, soccer net, shit like that. We had a huge yard, so.
Oh, we
baseball. We played baseball. We'd create a diamond in my backyard.
Yeah. Well, I remember growing up, and I mean, you touched on hockey nets. We used to have one of those, like the white piped nets, hockey nets. and we used to play in our driveway when we were kids. And then when we must have been no more than 10 or 11 years old, there was a kid named Nathan who lived on the left side of my street, the side street that's right there.
Yeah.
And we used to play street hockey there in the summertime. So it'd be like a whole bunch of the kids and the parents, and we get nets set up, and like even the people who lived on that crescent knew to go on the other side.
Yeah.
So say like they backed out of the driveway and they had to go somewhere. So instead of interfering with our game, they would take the long route and go the other way.
See, I miss hearing kids play.
Yeah.
But don't you remember we didn't have video games in the internet when we were kids?
Well,
I had an NES system, so I had this thing from the time I was 3 till I was about 10, 11, or 12.
Mm-hmm.
It was like right as like the GameCube came out, because I got the SNES.
Yeah.
After that, and even then, like, I didn't really play.
Yeah. Well, like we had me and my brother shared a Game Boy Color. But like even before that, we had my cousin Carmen and Anible had given us. Well, it was my cousin Carmen had given it to his dad to give to us. So my uncle Tony had given my dad their old Sega Master System, which I love going in like old game stores, and sometimes I have to stop myself because I'm like, oh fuck, I want that console again. But you can get something now called the Retron that plays all those old games.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we had that. There was no such thing as a save feature on those consoles, so you would try to play through the entire game in one sitting.
Yeah, you couldn't die. Like,
yeah, no.
We just bought a bunch of SNES games for my Super Nintendo, and I'm playing Jungle Book, and I got to the next level, and it's like, I died, and I had to start all over again, and I'm just like, damn, that sucks. But hey, I found like those games are much harder than the games are today.
Yeah,
like they're more problem solving. Like, when you play like I'm a huge fan of the South Park Fractured But Whole game. Excuse me, and when you can figure things out, you get an accomplishment for puzzle solver.
Yeah.
But I find like that's how all the other games, like the old games, were, which is amazing. Where to get to a certain spot, you had to figure out how to get there. Like there wasn't just a way to get there.
Yeah.
You had to like figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you remember though? Like as a kid, I'd always be outside. I'd be begging my grandmother. She used to watch me and my sister to go outside and play. When it was like summertime. I'd be like, "Can we go out and play?" And I'd be like, "Can you wait until like after lunch?" And it's like, "No, let's go now. I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to play. I don't want to watch a movie. I want to go outside." Like,
well, I remember when I was growing up, I had to beg my parents to. Okay, so when I was really really young, my bike route was my driveway to the next house to the right, turn around, make the left on the side street. Yeah. 2 houses, come back.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like,
It's how many times can you do that?
You guys, your street's like a thoroughfare, though, for the highway.
Well, I mean, like, we couldn't... when I was growing up, it was, you got to take your brother.
Yeah.
And then you can't go too far.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm getting older now, and I'd like to go somewhere other than, the 3 houses that I can ride in front of. So I remember, again, we must have been 11, maybe 12. And so one of the kids that grew up on our street, actually, it wasn't him, it was his grandmother that lived closer to the end of my street. Her grandson would come over, and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to get everyone some slushies. My grandmother gave me some money." So we hopped on our bikes, and she's like, he gave me enough for the 4 of us, or the 3 of us, for him, myself, and my brother. So we hop on our bikes and we go, and and where the Tim Hortons is, and there used to be a plaza in behind. So there used to be a Max Milk there, where you get the nice Fosters.
Oh man, I miss those.
Yeah, where you
I've
get
had
like
slushies in like forever.
you get like a bajillion different like flavors in there.
Yes, swamp water.
Yeah.
And it'd be all like done, and it'd end up just green or brown.
Yeah. So we went. I mean, we must have been gone for like 25 minutes to a half hour. And so we turn the corner, we come back down, and I remember seeing my parents standing outside and just screaming and yelling at us. Where the hell did you guys go? I go, we went to the end of the street and went up to the store. You're not supposed to go that far. Mind you, you can walk this as an adult in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, but still though, like, you gotta remember your parents, like, they're always looking out for you, like, parents in general.
I don't know. Mine, I find when we were kids, they were really overprotective with us.
And that's fine. That is fine. They just don't want to fuck up. That's all.
Yeah.
So, like, but do you remember, like, I don't know, for us, it was you have to come home when the streetlights came on.
Oh, no. See,
for dinner.
Okay, so for us, we couldn't leave the house until, say, if we had homework, you had to finish your homework first, and then you could leave.
Okay, that was the same with us. We had that done by 5 when my mom got home.
So we would finish our homework, have our dinner, and then it was, okay, you guys can go out and play. Our bedtime during the week when we were kids was 8 o'clock.
No, that was the same with me too.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
So imagine now, like, imagine this time of year. 8 o'clock, it's still sunshine outside.
Yeah.
I remember in the summertime.
And look how smart you are compared to those who stayed up late.
Yeah. Well,
like, think about it, right? You can tell the difference between those who stayed up late and those who didn't.
Yeah. Well, there's certain qualities you can see in people, where that their parents had raised them properly. There's just certain features, certain traits that people have, manners.
Oh yeah, you notice the manners are a lot different back then than they were now.
Yeah.
Like, more people said please and thank you and excuse me.
You hold the door open for someone. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, now
I
just expect it. Like,
well, I make a point.
Like yesterday, you remember yesterday?
Yeah.
When we were leaving Square One, we took transit, and this guy would not open up his own door.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know.
He was waiting.
He was waiting for someone to hold the door open for him, yet there was another door right in his, like, walkway where he could have used that door. Refused because, there were people using this door.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand.
I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't get it.
But to go back to my point, if I open a door for you and you walk through it and you don't say anything, I'll turn around and, I'll go, you're welcome. They're like, I didn't say thank you. I'm like, I know you didn't.
Yo, you're getting heated. You're getting, like, mad heated right now. You need to calm down.
No, I'm fine.
You're getting mad heated.
No.
So, you know what I find is when it was, like, when you would have dinner, right? How often did you guys eat out? Like,
we never.
Barely,
if we were lucky, it was once a month, maybe.
And it was, like, McDonald's or pizza
It was pizza. That's the only time we ate out was pizza. When we were growing up, my mom would do sauce once or twice. Well, generally twice a week.
Yeah.
So every few nights we'd have pasta. Hey, listen, I'm not complaining. And then my dad would switch it up and be like, okay, we'll do some pork chops, or we'll do. My dad was obsessed. I mean, he still is, but when we were kids, he was obsessed with shepherd's pie. He'd make enough where he could freeze it and then take it out, and then
as he wanted it.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god, that's so gross.
Cheap.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's not that it's cheap. It's inexpensive to make, and when you work it out between the amount of people you have, like, it ends up being really cost effective, which isn't bad. Like, speaking of that, I have to set out ground beef.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't. Gotta set out ground beef.
You've been told.
I did get told.
You've been instructed.
So yeah, like for us, we would have McDonald's once in a while. We get a Happy Meal if we were in crunch time, because like my mom does 2 jobs, and my dad works long hours.
Yeah.
We'd get pizza on the nights that my mom was working, so it was like once a week. we would get pizza from Sinopolis, or if it was like Halloween, we'd get pizza from Pizza every time.
Well,
and we'd always have like Halloween plates. I think we even still have them.
oh yeah.
Yeah, or we have the napkins still. We have something with the jack-o'-lantern on it. But like, don't you notice now? Like everybody just goes out and eats out all the time.
Well, everything skip the dishes and Uber Eats and.
No, it's like not even that. It's like people. I'll be honest. I do this too. Where instead of packing a lunch, I'll go and buy a lunch.
Yeah.
Because it's more convenient.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, look at how many times, when we were in school, say our parents would do up sandwiches and, you get a juice box and a couple snacks.
Joe, do you remember the milk program at school?
Oh my God.
Where you get like the bagged milk?
The bagged milk, yeah. And there was apple juice as well.
And orange juice.
I don't remember the orange. I remember the apple.
I do. The bagged milk. Do you remember that? Where you like have to stab it with a straw, then hope to pray that it didn't go through the other side.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I missed that. That was so cool.
And sometimes you got lucky and it was like partially frozen.
No, I never got that.
No? Oh.
We didn't freeze ours at school.
No.
But like I don't know. I just find like a lot of things have changed. And it's made so like life has changed.
Yeah.
Which is in turn has made people change.
Mm-hmm.
So like where we would call organic now was regular before. Correct?
Yeah.
And then they just started to like
well, because everything's all chemicals now too.
Yeah,
right?
now. But like I remember just like everything just being fine. Like do you remember those like sugary juices where they came in like a plastic bottle and you had to like twist the top off like it was like a circle?
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the freezies that look like a double-ended dildo?
Yes. Oh my God, those were amazing.
My grandmother used to have them, and so one day she goes, "Hey, there is a freezy in the freezer. You get one for you and the one for me."
You just crack it in half.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? Because I'd never seen this before.
Right? But you just crack it you just crack it in half, and one for you and one for the next person.
Yeah. Or if you were selfish, one for me and one for me.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I miss, like, the toys of the 90s were sick.
Oh, okay. So we're on the topic of this now. Do you remember as a kid going to McDonald's and, like, say a big movie would come out?
And they'd have the toys of it?
Well, not even the toys. I remember when one of the Batman movies came out. It was the one with the Riddler, and when Jim Carrey played the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face.
Yeah.
They came out with these amazing glass sets.
Yes. I have McDonald's glasses upstairs.
But they weren't, not the fact that they were just glasses. They were really good quality glasses.
Yeah, you can't get that no more.
No. You get
No.
non-gender specific McDonald's toys, because we had seen that a couple days ago, and we're like, what the fuck?
They're called Ugly Kids or something, or Ugly Toys. I'll be honest, this little girl, she came in to my work with one, and I'm like, oh, that's a McDonald's toy, right? I'm like, what is that? The little girl's like, I don't know. But the mom goes, she doesn't know, but she likes it. I'm like, and that's all that matters, as long as she's happy.
Yeah. No, we got all the cool shit. And then it'd be like...
Do you remember when the Mighty Ducks movie came out? And they had, pucks.
Yeah.
With the ducks on the top. Yo, that was fucking sick. I had every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. And, like, every week the new toy would come out?
No, it'd be, like, every month.
Ours was about every week.
No, I swear. Well, maybe because I only got it, like, once a month.
Oh, sometimes, like, if we were doing well in school...
Yeah. You get to go to McDonald's?
Yeah, we get to McDonald's just to get the toy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Especially in the summertime. And that was when, like, the really cool toys came out.
Yeah.
Or if it was, like, a movie-themed one. So, say, like, the Batman one. Which, again, I might have one or two still.
No, you don't.
I'm pretty sure we do.
No, I don't think so. Probably not.
I'm going to see if I can find them on eBay, maybe.
They're expensive on eBay, bro. You gotta go to like a Goodwill.
Maybe.
You gotta go to like a thrift store for them.
Like a good Sally Ann's, like the one at the end of your street?
Ugh. I don't like going there. It stinks.
Yeah.
I don't like going to thrift stores.
I don't mind it.
I just, it stinks. And I'm not interested in it. Like, ugh, they just stink.
Yeah.
Shut up. I don't know. Like, I just find everything then compared to, like, when you do the comparison, like, the 90s have obviously their comeback in fashion right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, clothing, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just find it's not the same. Because everything is just still, like, in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Approaching the 2020s.
Yeah. Well, like, even if you think about that, like,
it's not the 90s. Like, it's
yeah.
not the same.
If you look at like music from the 90s,
yeah.
it was kind of classified in like 3 sections. There was like electronic music, there was poppy, either girl or boy bands, or I'll just classify everything else as rock. Yeah, but if you're talking,
there was rap too. There was rap, but it was like
rap.
More. It wasn't like. It wasn't like
rap what we have now, mumble rap.
Yeah, and it was really good rap, but it was still like more on the underground kind of.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't always on the radio. You'd only hear it once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, like it just came in and bang.
Well, I remember flipping on our TV. Well, we never had cable at home. I remember going to my
We had to.
I remember my grandmother had cable, and so we'd sit and watch Much Music, and we'd get Korn, Limp Bizkit, Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, and I'm like, oh wow, this shit's cool.
Yes. You
don't see this shit anymore. There used to be.
I didn't even know if they still make music videos and put them on TV.
I don't think they do. It's all TV shows. I remember when 29 and 36, so Much Music and Much More Music.
That turned into Gusto.
I don't know what it is now.
I just told you it's Gusto.
Is it? I remember when it was strictly music videos, and then closer into the evening, they had Much On Demand.
Yeah. Do you remember Ed the Sock?
I do remember Ed the Sock.
Oh, fuck! I miss Ed the Sock. Like, every, like, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, there'd be, like, an Ed the Sock all motherfucking day.
Yeah.
Ugh. And remember the Taco Bell dog?
Yeah. I found his name, but I don't have my phone in front of me, so I can't. Was it Gizmo or something like that? Or?
I don't know, something like that. What else did we have in the 90s? Barbies were, like, so cool.
Barbie, yeah.
Me and Jess, my sister, used to play Barbies all the time. Did you guys have, like, Hot Wheels?
We were in the Pokemon phase.
Oh, yes, I remember Pokemon. Like, the first Pokemon was, like, the best Pokemon.
Yeah. And then...
it's not cool anymore.
Well, and then, I mean, we were kids. I was in elementary school. It was NHL Pogs. When Pogs were a thing.
Oh, my God. I think I still have my Pogs, actually.
We have the complete NHL set, which is, like,
you?
yeah. So they had, like, the regular, like, cardboard flip cards, and then they had the metal pieces, which were called slammers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they had hard plastic, too.
Yeah.
Yo, if I find my Pogs, we should play.
Yeah.
We should make a video of us playing Pogs.
Yeah.
Try and make it cool again.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Like, if people can make fidget spinners cool, we can make Pogs cool.
Yo, like, fuck off.
Hashtag make Pogs cool again.
Yeah. Do you remember when we first went to Niagara Comic Con? It was like everywhere had fidget spinners.
That was so bad. That was the first year you and I went, where it was like we walked in. I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. Like, and this had like brought back memories because I hadn't been to like a good sci-fi convention in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh man, this is bringing back memories. And you walked in, and it was just fidget spinners everywhere. Like you couldn't turn and not see a fidget spinner. They were on every single table. Didn't matter what they were selling, they had fidget spinners on their table.
Yeah.
And every kid had one in their hand. You look around.
Okay, but like, could you imagine though, like, so remember how we had fidget spinners were like a thing for kids now?
Yeah. But
do you think the kids ahead of us were like, the fuck is Crazy Bone? What the fuck are Crazy Bones? You remember Crazy Bones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had those too.
Well, and like imagine too, like so we were at the start of like portable music. Walkmans, yeah, CD players and Discmans and tape players.
Do you remember what was the other one though? It was like a clip. Oh, what the fuck was it called? My sister had those too. My sister and my cousin.
Oh, the one that had it played one song?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And they were expensive as fuck too. Hip clip or something?
Hip clips, maybe? Clip hits?
Clip hits, yes. Yes.
Yeah, they played one song?
Yeah. They played one song.
Yeah.
Even, like, wrestling was better in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm surprised you... I'm generally the one who brings up wrestling. I'm surprised.
No, because we just watched Raw. We just watched Money in the Bank. I know, we always bring up fucking wrestling. It was just crap. Straight up, I was underwhelmed. I was falling asleep during Money in the Bank. Like, I fell asleep during the main event. And then Richard woke me up and there was Brock Lesnar climbing the ladder. And I'm like, oh.
Mustafa Ali was about to grab the... And supposedly they were told in advance that Mustafa Ali was going to win. And then supposedly right before they were about to come out, they're like, oh, by the way, you're not winning. It's going to be Brock Lesnar winning.
And, like, look at what happened.
Like, you had Ricochet, you had Mustafa Ali, Sami Zayn, which I was hoping that maybe he'd come back, but he didn't, and Brock took his place. Baron Corbin.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Where the fuck is Jinder?
Yeah.
No Jinder.
I miss what he would call him. Hey, Randy Orton.
But yeah, anyways, like back then you had Mick Foley doing 3 characters. Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love. You had The Undertaker. You had Kane. You had Stone Cold Steve Austin. You had The Rock. You had Trish Stratus. You had Lita. You had Sable. You had Chyna. You had Degeneration X. You had the Dudleys. What in the fuck happened? What in the fuck happened? Remember when they had the hardcore title?
No, it's the
last night they brought back the 24/7 title.
When he came out and he's like, oh, it has to be defended at all times. I'm like, oh, cool, they're gonna bring back the hardcore title. They bring out this fucking baby shit green title with a gold plate. This is the 24/7 title. What the fuck?
I know he oversold that.
And,
but I'll be honest,
it was
pretty neat.
The crowd was booing, and Mick Foley was like, ugh.
Let me sell this.
He's like, I gotta finish this and go back to my Christmas room.
Yes. But yeah, Christmas decorations back in the day were way better. Like, I swear, everything before the internet, before the year 2000 was better.
Yeah.
It's like the year 2000 came and then everything went to shit.
Yeah. Well, like, even what I've noticed is Christmas decorations in general, where it's like North American made Christmas decorations. You'd find them
European made.
Yeah. And now it's
amazing.
Mass produced in China, and the quality's not the same anymore.
No, because we couldn't even find good Christmas decorations this year.
Yeah, or people would like make them themselves, and I remember that you'd have like little craft sales, and people would
at church bazaars and
yeah, and you could go out and buy handmade Christmas ornaments.
You know what we forgot to say?
What?
The 90s was the birth of grunge music.
Mm-hmm.
How did we forget to say that when we were talking about music?
And considering that one of Kurt Cobain's sweaters just sold for a little over $100,000 Canadian, and a dirty pizza plate sold for a little over, I think it was $23,000 Canadian.
Why the fuck do you still have his dirty pizza plate?
Well, I mean, because
that shit's probably moldy as fuck.
It probably is, but it's Kurt.
Did you leave it in the fridge?
I don't know.
Saran wrap that shit? Like, what?
Maybe that has some of his DNA on it. They're going to try to resurrect him and clone him.
Whatever. I don't know, guys. TV was way better in the 90s. Cartoons were better in the 90s. Everything was better.
I mean, the Simpsons were in their prime in the early 90s.
Guys,
you had Arthur. You had Arthur. You had Magic School Bus. You had Pokemon.
Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z! Like, YTV was the shit.
Uh-oh.
The Zone.
Video Arcade Top 10.
Hit List.
I still remember. Do you remember Video Arcade Top 10?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it. Like, I'd see it on and then I'd just turn it because I'm just like, I don't even know what they're doing. So I was just like, I don't have this.
Okay, so it used to be, I missed that show. It'd be like 3 people or 4 people that used to sit down, play a video game, and see who could get the furthest. And then that person would move on, and I guess the winner would pick out of a drum. And if you got a certain ball, it was a certain prize. There was a white ball, which you got your choice of, I think, anything, or you got all the prizes. And then there was the red ball, which you got nothing. Yeah.
I never watched it, so I have nothing to say about it. But back in the day, people used to talk more face to face. They knew how to speak to one another, so socializing was better. Family time was a lot more quality time.
Do you remember when people would come to the door and
just walk into my house?
Well, say they'd knock on the door, you hear the doorbell ring, and it was a race to open up the door.
Yeah, or answer the phone.
Yeah. Now the phone rings. I don't know who it is.
I ain't touching it.
Yo, who you?
I do it all the time. Yeah. Same with the door. I don't like to go to the door. I make somebody else do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 90s were way better.
Mm-hmm.
Year 2000, millennium, you fucked us up. Anyways, that's our way back episode. If there's anything we missed, feel free to message us.
Give a shit for it.
Yes, definitely. Like us, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, subscribe.
Twitter,
M.C.R.O Radio.
Maybe MySpace.
Yes, maybe MySpace. Alright, thanks for listening. You've been listening to M.C.R.O Radio. We out.
Bye.
Bye.
Fucking right.